market begins to pick up again, I think if you're starting to think about what to do at that point, for starters, you're going to be too late. And I think the most important thing right now is to be having a plan for what they're calling it, an exit plan from isolation here in the UK, but have a plan for what your ramp up looks like. I think everybody can be forgiven for the fact that the last month or so since the middle of March globally has been pretty hectic for businesses, and we've been dealing with the here and now. Now is the point where I see, if you think about a sort of a graph going down, we're at that plateau point where things are probably as bad as they can be from a business perspective. I think people have got used to the state that we're in, and we're going to have that little lull before people start to look at, right now we've got a plan to get back in. So actually, while you're maybe a bit quieter, while you've got a bit of thinking time, while you've got some space from being around everybody, it's a great time to be planning. So in terms of what you should be doing, well, for me, one of the opportunities right now is to be a bit more strategic. We run at 100 miles an hour in normal day-to-day working life. And I'm sure, like me, you've got a list of things that you like to get to that are maybe planning things within your business, more strategic, more working on your business than in it. And now is a perfect time to do those sorts of things. So I think, first and foremost, I'd be looking to take opportunities of those sorts of things, chance to be creative, a chance to question the way that you do things and why you do things a certain way within your business, and a chance to maybe think about opportunities that you haven't seen before, but have seen and not been able to do anything about. But I think the most important thing in terms of what you should do when you get back into the office and when everything comes back to some kind of normality is to just sit and think together with your team around what the business looks like, because everybody's perspective on the business, work, the office is going to have changed after this in some way, shape or form. And I think the worst thing we can do is just slip back in as if nothing happened. Perhaps we've got an opportunity to work in a slightly different way. We've certainly seen people be forced to do things differently, and some real positives have come out of that. So to not take those learnings and adapt accordingly would be a complete waste. But for me, it's a reminder of people and culture. People and culture is critical within our business at any time. And if your people haven't helped your business to survive through this period, then you've probably missed something at this stage. And I think we all need to be grateful for the great people that we've got in our team that have helped us get through this. So being able to bring that togetherness back and being able to celebrate those assets, i.e. the people within your business, when you get back in, is going to be really important for me.
Yes, I agree with what Owen said entirely. I think that the key thing in terms of a sales perspective, if you're thinking about what I'm going to do for sales when things get back to normal, I think you'll completely miss the boat. I think you've got to be thinking about it now and building that pipeline now, because it's not going to be like a race with a starter's gun where the governments of the countries say, right, everybody back to business today. Some businesses are going to come back earlier, some are going to come back later. Some of the businesses are going to come back quickly when they restart, and some of it going to be slower. Everybody's going to be out there looking to make sales. They'll be using discounting. They'll be looking at online lead generation. They'll be doing everything they can to make sales. And it will be an element of desperation that I think will be out there. Whereas for the companies who've gone out and used this period to strategically build list of prospects that they can connect with on LinkedIn and start a conversation with, whether it's by phone or by LinkedIn or however it is, and they've built up and nurtured those contacts, and they've developed sales opportunities and good relationships with them, they're going to be so well placed for when things get back to normal. So leaving things until everything gets better is the wrong thing, in my opinion, to do. I think the other thing that Owen said, which really resonates with me, is a non-sales thing, which is the culture of the organization. Most companies rely on a very strong culture. And while people are working from home, or maybe they're furloughed and they're having no interaction with the company, that culture gets certainly diluted and possibly lost. And to assume that it's going to be all back to normal on day one when you come back to the work in the office, I think, again, is missing an opportunity. So maintaining contact with your furloughed and current staff, making sure that there is an element of culture being continued with messaging while everything's in lockdown is good. But making sure that when you come back, you think about how the business is going to look and you actively work hard on building the culture. I absolutely agree. It's such an important part of bringing the business back and bringing new business in and bringing the team members back in, you can really hit the ground running when things do start to come right for us.
I might just add one thing, if that's okay. And I think one word that's been really important to me throughout this, and I think will be just as vital when we're back in the world of normality, is communication. So I think that companies are going to live or die by their decisions or their actions around how they communicate with their people and their clients at the moment. Because what we have to remember is that we, as a business owner or a leader or a manager of a team or a supplier, are feeling uncertain. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going to happen next. We don't know what the world looks like anymore. And though that is, as I keep saying, it was plateauing and settling down, the uncertainty isn't by the hour, it's maybe by the week instead of by the hour or by the day at the moment. Actually, we forget that our clients and our staff and our teams and our people are feeling the same way. And it's our responsibility to communicate well with them. So we may have, in the UK, put people on furlough. I know that within Australia, there's a similar job retention scheme to keep people in work. Yeah, let's be talking to those people and communicating. It's how you do that and how you stay connected with them that's vital, but also with your clients. So if this lasts for 3 months, and in those 3 months you don't talk to your clients and have a human-to-human conversation, you just send them an email here and there, they're going to be disconnected from you in 3 months. It's just like a pipeline opportunity in sales. They'll go cold. And it's no different with the current situation. You've got to be talking to them. I was saying to our account managers yesterday, can you pick up the phone and just say hello to your clients and ask them how they are? Check in with them. No agenda, no sales call, no positioning for getting back in. Just how are you? Are you okay? And I think that communication and being and connecting with people, both clients and within the business, is going to be the defining factor for how quickly you're able to ramp things back up and how smoothly that process goes.